What's up guys? I hope you're doing well. I've got a video this week for you all about the law of attraction and the number one reason from personal experience of why it sometimes doesn't work. Before I tell you guys that number one block, I feel like I have to actually give you a little bit of background so you understand where I'm coming from and how I came to this conclusion. So like most people, I heard about the law of attraction through the movie The Secret, which if you haven't watched, I would definitely recommend. It is a really helpful film if you've never explored the concept and want some really great stories of how it's worked for other people. So it was also about 2.5 years ago that I first came across all these different materials, and it was perfect timing because it was right before I was leaving for my big life-changing trip to Tokyo and Europe and all of that. And it was just crazy how certain things just started to manifest in ways that I have no words for. I don't know how it happened. And I do attribute it to the fact that I was becoming more conscious about my thoughts. I tried to really become clear on what it was I wanted. And I also just had to, trust. I had to have faith that, somehow things were going to be okay and work out. And that's not an easy feat for somebody who has really intense anxiety sometimes and wants to control everything and micromanage things. Not only did I feel better, but things started to happen that I really, can't explain. And there were so many moments of synchronicity. I really can't, share all of them with you guys because we'd be here forever. But I'd like to share two that absolutely blew my mind. The first example has to do when I was trying to find a place to live in Tokyo, and as I've probably mentioned to you guys, the rent prices there can be absolutely insane. For literally a shoebox, you are paying thousands and thousands of dollars, and I tried to make my budget about $1,000. In some miracle of the world, I was even hoping for less. But the lowest that I was finding was $1,100, $1,200 for just the tiniest bachelor apartment. And the other thing that I wasn't really that crazy about was that a lot of the places were kind of more on the outskirts of the city and that weren't in really central locations. I really wanted to have something that was much more central in an area I really liked. And the number one place that I've always really wanted to live in Tokyo is, of course, one of the most affluent areas called Hiro. But when you look at bachelor apartments and, heaven forbid, one bedrooms, it's starting at $1,500, $1,600 for literally the tiniest of rooms, up to over $2,000 obviously if you wanted a one bedroom. So that was just kind of out of the question for me at that point. So I was a little bit sad and felt okay, well, I guess I'm gonna have to, settle and go for something a little bit more on the outskirts. And what started happening was I was even having issues with that. Either didn't have the dates I needed, or there was some kind of other issue going on with the place. And it was really coming down to the line. I was leaving for Tokyo in literally a week and I still had no place to live. And all of a sudden, I don't even remember the exact moment, but I came across this idea of share houses, which I had never heard of before. Nobody I knew had ever stayed at one. And it was basically sharing a house with a few other people, but you all got your own rooms. And lo and behold, the one that I find is in Hiro. There were no other share houses in Hiro, just this one. And with my luck, I got the largest room in the whole house, which was as big as some of the bachelor apartments in the outskirts of the city for $1,200. I got the same size of room with amazing people in the house for $900 a month. So it's situations like that that made me think is this pure coincidence? Is this pure chance that, things kept not working out so I could be led to what I really wanted, because deep inside I did feel like there is some kind of way, like I want to live in this place so badly, and you know, I believe that it can happen. Even in the midst of my negativity, I still did have the belief that it was possible, and I wanted it so badly that somehow it just came to be. Now the second example is even more of a crazy synchronicity, and it all started when I was walking in Shinjuku and I came across a place called the Robot Cafe. And if you guys have never heard of it, it's basically this dinner and a show, a big crazy show of like robots battling each other, and there's like lights and people dancing and music and all these like crazy robot contraption things, and it just looks so cool and so weird, and just an experience that you'd really like to, you know, go through in Tokyo. And I was like, oh, I'm for sure gonna go, I'm so excited. And then I found out the price. It was like $120 with the currency conversion, and it's, you know, it's a 2-hour show, and at that point I still didn't know how much money I was going to be making in Tokyo, so it just felt a little bit irresponsible to be blowing $120 on robots when I'm still trying to stick to a grocery budget. So I was like, oh, you know, I'd like to go, but oh, you know, oh well, next time I'll come back and see the robots. And then literally a few weeks before I'm leaving, I get this random email from a company that I have never heard of, saying, hey, like, we found you on YouTube, we really like your Tokyo vlogs, we think they're so interesting, would you mind shooting some kind of segment for our channel? We really like to do things that, you know, give unique, you know, points of view of certain countries. And I was like, yes, like, absolutely, I will, you know, film whatever you want, like, just let me know, you know, what it is you think your viewers would like to see. And she writes me back of like, you know, the #1 place that I feel would be a really cool segment, I don't know if you've ever heard of it, is the Robot Cafe. And I was like, are you kidding me? Like, what are the chances that not only would I get this out of the blue message, and that it would be exactly for what I really wanted to do in Tokyo, but, you know, didn't feel comfortable spending my own money on. And obviously they paid, you know, for my whole like entry fee and all that kind of stuff. I know a lot of people will say, oh, it's just random that that happened, like it's just a coincidence, all those kinds of things. But no, like, if you are actually watching and conscious of what is happening in your life and how you know, think about things, you will start to see how you create some of these experiences, and how if you're very laser focused on certain things without any blockages, which I will get to in a second, finally, I promise, you will start to see how your own intention starts to show up in your own life. So that trip for me was really the first, you know, in-depth experiences that I ever had to seeing how I'm creating my own reality, to seeing the proof and not understanding, you know, exactly how it comes to me, but, you know, seeing the intention and then seeing the proof. So the most common block when it comes to manifesting through the law of attraction that I see in so many other people, and that I, you know, have come to learn about myself and I'm still working on, is that when you follow all the suggestions of, you know, wanting something so badly, hyper focusing on it, and just making it like your sole intention, especially if it's been something that you have wanted for so long but have been disappointed that it doesn't happen, is that the opposite of all that want is fear. Whenever you are afraid that something won't happen, is sending out the exact opposite vibration of what it is you do want. You cannot be coming at it from a place of lack or a place of scarcity and fear that, you know, if it doesn't happen, it's just going to absolutely destroy you, or that you're gonna feel really shitty about it. You have to be so conscious of what is the place that you are asking from. Are you asking for more money or a better relationship because you think it would be fun, it would be like a great time, and it would add on the happiness that you already have? If it is, then absolutely you will get it. But if you are coming from a place of like, oh, all my other relationships have like really sucked, I hope this one's, gonna be the one to change it, or, I've always found it so hard to get by with, so little money, I hope that this is gonna be the job that's gonna change all of that. Like, those seem like you're asking for something better, but in fact, you are keeping yourself in the same place that you have always been. So the way that I really started to change this for myself was actually when I started listening to Abraham Hicks, because I felt like they touched on this subject more than anybody else did and explained it in a way that really made sense to me and also gave me much better suggestions of what to do about it. Because it's easy to say to just like, well, don't think negatively anymore, just think positive. And that's not really concrete advice right there. What I really took out of Abraham Hicks was becoming, first of all, conscious of how you feel around the subjects that you really want to have happen, and just like owning up to it, being aware of it, not being afraid of it, just acknowledging that it's there and trying to be as okay with it as possible. Like it somehow neutralized the charge, so to say. And sure, trying to work towards being more positive when it comes to those approaches, but what I found to actually be more effective is to actually start my days and build up my vibration, so to say, on the things that were already easy. Like it's already easy for me to feel really positive around, going on adventures, and relationships actually are pretty good for me. I feel like I don't have too many blocks when it comes to that, so I focus on my really good relationships, and all those things that come easy to me like bring up my vibration. They make them even better, and thus allow me to tackle some of the more complicated issues that I struggle with from a better place. Because if right now in my place of scarcity I'm going to devote all my energy to fixing all the blocks that I have around money or career, like it's just going to be too overwhelming. I have to be coming from a place of strength and a place of peace and stability to tackle the things that I want to change. If you are really struggling in trying to make something happen and you're aware there's a lot of fear in you, there's a lot of doubt, or there's anger, or whatever other kind of emotion that is not necessarily productive to what it is you're trying to accomplish, one of the best things that I found to do is to just take a break, to just take a breather, go do something that de-stresses you and makes you feel better, so that when you come back you can tackle what it is you have to do with a clear mind, with a more positive intention, and then you will reap the benefits of getting what it is you do want. The means always will create the ends. So any of the negativity and fear and doubt that you're bringing into the things that you want, that is how they will manifest. So you have to be very careful about why you want certain things and the state of being that you are asking for them in. So that's it, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video, and definitely let me know if you'd like me to do more videos on the law of attraction, since it's definitely something that I am super passionate about. I would love to know all about your experiences in dealing with this, so please comment down below. Subscribe if you already haven't, and until I see you guys next time, I hope you're having a spectacular day and keep being your own kind of beautiful. Bye, guys.